Good day, everyone. Today I will discuss how to get started and working on your chapter 3. And of course, we have to consider the following components to be included in the manuscript. And the following are the market description. You also have the market participation, which is the most essential part or the most essential component of chapter 3, and you also have the market segmentation. Now, in the market description, you just have to discuss the kind of operation you are going to practice in your enterprise, whether you will apply the online type of transaction, or you prefer to have it the traditional way, or you can of course consider both, which is a hybrid type of enterprise. And then you can also discuss about your uh, prospect market, or target respondents, rather your target market users, who will soon consider to be as your customers, who will transact in your enterprise, and being able to establish relationship, in the future, that will somehow be the aspect of your profitability in the operation. And then of course we have the market participation, and this is our main focus here, and this is the topic, or the information that I will discuss to you about. So to start with, we have to look into the um, raw data. So that will be our basis, in our market participation, how to get started with the market participation. Then we have to consider our raw data. Then we have here um, the two figures. We have the figure 2A. This is the raw data of respondents' responses on product testing for market participation. As you can see, we have here a table, and the first column you have the respondents, then the second column you have the demography or demographic factors. Then we have the indicator 1, indicator 2, indicator 3, indicator 4, indicator 5, indicator 6, indicator 7, and the indicator 8. And of course, you have the following respondents, during the product testing of your enterprise. You may just write their alias or whatsoever. Then for the demographic factors, you have the occupation. We will only be considering two factors here, the occupation and gender, although gender is not really that significant, in trying to get the influence of the customers' preferences and awareness about the product. And I guess it doesn't really affect, in their preferences and their awareness. But anyway, we will just include this factor as one of the demographic aspects. So we have the occupation and the gender. Then of course the descriptors you have for every indicator. So I have, or I just translated this into legends, letter A, letter B, letter C, letter D. And for every legend, it corresponds to a particular descriptor. So as you can see, in figure 2B, as you can see in figure 2B, where is that? Okay, I have here figure 2B. Now, represented by legends. For the occupation demographic, you have the household represented as legend 1, the senior high school students represented as legend 2, faculty legend 3, admin and staff legend 4, and utility legend 5. For the gender demographic, we have male and represented by legend X, and female represented by legend Y. For the indicator 1 and the rest of the indicators, we have represented it with letter legends, no, or yeah, letter legends, no. So for extremely dull, we have um, A, dull, we have B, inviting, we have C, very inviting, we have D, and the rest as well. So you just see here the corresponding legends of the descriptors, no, for every indicator. So it's just easy for you to analyze, and the moment you have already all the survey forms, you can just transfer this or their responses, no, by filling out the figure 2A and figure 2B. So for the figure 2A, you just input whatever responses they have accordingly, no, according to the descriptor they have chosen, no. This is somehow relative to their preferences and awareness, no. So you just fill out um, all the necessary information you have here, no. So all those respondents that you have considered in your product testing, you just transfer their responses here, no, in figure A 2A and figure 2B. Okay, there you go for the raw data, no, that you need before you get to start doing the data analysis. So you will be needing the raw data and input it accordingly. Okay, so you have it there. Now this time, let us try to work with the first indicator. Working on with the first indicator, you just make use of the Excel file, no. Gagamitin lang natin yung Excel file for us to manage data analysis. Now, in data analysis, guys, we are going to use the descriptive analysis or descriptive statistics lang, no. If we are to consider inferential analysis or inferential statistic, then we have to draw conclusion out from the presented data. You will collect the data and then you present the data, after which you are going to describe the data and you do inference by drawing conclusion. But I guess we will not anymore focus on the inferential analysis. Instead, ang main focus na lang natin dito is merely to describe the presented or the collected data. So we are going to consider, say for instance, if you are going to work on with the first indicator, so you just have to input the necessary information or the essential elements, no, in indicator 1. Say for instance, of course, indicator 1, you have to consider the following respondents, and as agreed, no, we have clustered our respondents into the following information, like we have the household, then we have the students, then we have the faculty, then we have the admin, no, and staff, and you also have the utility. Okay, so these are the clustered respondents we have in our product testing. Let me just check. Okay, there you go. And of course, after that, next thing that you will do is for you to label, no. You just have to label the descriptors of indicator 1. So this is indicator 1, and the following descriptors are, let me check, extremely dull, dull, inviting, and very inviting. So you just input it there. Extremely dull, you have dull, you have inviting, and very inviting. So these are the necessary information you have to input to get started with your data analysis and interpretation. So you just have to highlight this. Before highlighting it, you have to input the necessary statistics, no. How many of the responses will be identified as extremely dull, how many of the responses will be identified as dull, how many of the responses will be identified as inviting, and how many of the responses will be identified as very inviting from the clustered respondents you have. Now, these are your target respondents, and we have discussed already prior on how you are going to get your sampling or your sample population. Now, let us start distributing the responses accordingly. Say for instance, you have the following statistics. I will just copy this one and paste it there. Okay. Okay, say for instance, you are done already inputting the necessary statistics or data, for the indicator one. So what you need to do is to just highlight this, highlight this one, and then you go insert. Then we for the first figure, we are going to work on by using graph, and the simplest one. We will just pick the simplest one, and there you go. You have your first chart. You will be needing a chart representation. Is because you are going to interpret your data, by using chart. So it's necessary that you have to work on with Excel and making use of the chart. Now you have your first representation of your data here through a chart. I will just change the title. Of course, your first title will be figure 3A, since this is already the third illustration that you are going to include in your manuscript. So our title for our first illustration will be figure 3A, respondents by cluster based on products presentation. Since your indicator one is about the presentation of your product, so then this will be your label, the title for the first chart. Where is that? Okay, there you go. You just paste it there. And of course, you have to be aware of the font that you need to use. You just change the font to Times New Roman, since this is our standard font, Times New Roman, and then change it to 12. There you go. So we have now identified our first illustration, by using the chart, and our data are ready now for us to interpret. So since our data are already presented there and ready for interpretation and analysis, we will just transfer this data, in Word file. Transfer lang natin yung data sa Word file. Let me just maneuver this one. So assuming you have this data here, and for us to transfer this sa Word file, I guess you just have to highlight this one until the end, and then press Ctrl C. We just use the shortcut keys Ctrl C, Ctrl V, for copy paste. Then you paste it there. Okay, you have already your data presented. So you can you use this one here. You just click this one here and paste it as image. I guess it's better for you to paste it as image file, image illustration, so you can edit it. It's easier for you to edit using the image illustration, so you can just zoom in, zoom out the image easily, when you are going to paste it in the format of an image file. Okay, there you go. Now do not zoom in, or do not increase or decrease the file by making it this way. It's not correct. So you just you need to focus the mouse pointer here, and you pull it or you decrease or increase by doing this way. Okay, that's a lot better para your illustration or the picture will not be pixelated. So there you have it. And the next thing I guess is for you to work on. This is somehow the responses of the respondents, no? Now, of course, we have not yet combined the population. Now, the next thing that you need to do is for you to draw another or to input another information here where this will be the data presented for the combined population. Okay, so how are we going to do it? Still, we have to base it from the raw data we have filed, if we have filled out. Okay, you have it here. Assuming you have filled out all the data already, no, and we are ready to transfer it using the Excel file. Okay, say for instance you have inviting, very inviting, dull, and inviting. Just copy it there. Actually, I have prepared this already, guys, no? So I'm just doing a demonstration again using another Excel file here, no? But these two are just the same, okay? No, I'm just trying to do a demonstration again, no? So that you will be guided, no, on how you are going to work on with your data as well. So there you go, no? Another information that you have to input here for you to present another chart, no, for the combined population, since you will also be needing the combined population and being able to analyze and interpret the data. So these are the necessary information that you need for you to be able to come up with a chart. So assuming you have the data already here, you just highlight it again, no? And then go to insert, and this time we are going to use the pie chart, no? Kasi it will be a lot better in the representation of the data for the combined population. So again, we'll just we'll just transfer this one here. No, sure, you just make sure that the two illustrations are aligned. There you go, and then decrease it. Okay, decrease the size. Okay, they are aligned and they are of the same size, I guess. So we'll just change the title of the combined population and then change this to figure 3b, no? Figure 3b, and figure 3b is, let me just check the one I prepared before a while ago, combined population based on. So I will just copy this one, no? This is the title, the label of the second illustration for your indicator 1. Okay, where is that? Okay, there you go. Let me just delete this and paste it there. Okay, again, it's very important that you have to change the format of the font to Times New Roman and make it 12, since that's the standard formatting for the font and the font size. Okay, there you go. Now, I guess you cannot really interpret or analyze this chart here. It's because the data are not yet detailed. So what you need to do is to just click this icon here, and then you go to data label, no, you click it there, and more options. Then from the options, no, presented to you, you just click the percentage value, so it will give you the detailed, no, representation and distribution of the responses in percentage, and it will be easier for you to analyze and interpret the data given the detailed value and given the detailed value and data, no, for illustration 2, which is figure 3b. and that label is combined population based on products presentation. So there you go. Since you already have the second illustration, this is just the same here, guys. And you just copy it again. Copy it again using this time the Word file. Okay, Word document rather. Okay, there you have it. Okay, just copy it there, and then you just decrease the size. Okay, ganun lang. This is how easy it is, There you go. And then I guess the next thing that you need to do is to describe already the data presented. So we are going to use only the descriptive form of analysis, the simplest one. And then if ever, kasi I will not anymore require you to draw conclusions, from the presented data out from the descriptions you are going to discuss there based on the data presented. So I guess we will not anymore consider doing the inferential analysis, or the inferential statistics. So we will only be sticking to the descriptive analysis, or describing your data presented or collected. Okay, there you go. So this time, let us now organize the information we have constructed using the Excel file, and this is being transferred into the Word file. So as you can see, we have an example here of our first data, relative to indicator 1, and our content for indicator 1 is what can you say about the presentation of the product. And we have the two illustrations here from the Excel file we crafted, and this time around I guess we are now ready to craft our description for the information, for the data we have collected pertaining to indicator 1. And this is an example now for the illustration 1, bearing the title Figure 3A, Respondents by Cluster Based on Products Presentation. We have an example of the interpretation using the descriptive analysis, and here it goes. Figure 3A presents the collected data relevant to the respondents' responses to indicator 1, where the majority from the cluster of senior high school students deemed the presentation very inviting. The same descriptor is shared by both household and faculty clusters, and underlined the presentation as very inviting too. Moreover, the admin cluster underscored a diverse descriptor and believed that the presentation of the product was inviting, while the utility cluster highlighted two descriptors shared with equivalent perception as very inviting and inviting. Lastly, two responses from the household and faculty clusters asserted that the presentation was extremely dull. However, this impression has not had a significant influence on the total package of the product relevant to its presentation. So there you go, a sample description of the data presented in illustration 1, and this time around we are going to have the illustration 2 with its interpretation using again the same descriptive analysis. So for the illustration 2, we have our analysis here, and it goes: Figure 3B presents the collected data of the respondents' combined population relevant to indicator 1. Very inviting, got the highest percentage share among the identified descriptors in the said indication. As you can see in the illustration 2, the yellow color represents the biggest share of respondents, and it pertains to the very inviting descriptor. So it has impacted almost the entire fraction of responses with a significant figure of 72%. Subsequently, the descriptor inviting quite got a commendable placement as another perceived response of the shared population with a notable population of 20%. So it follows through with the second color The gray color represents the inviting with 20% proportion. Equally, the dull and extremely dull descriptors both received an inconsequential implication for a response in the product testing survey. Overall, the product has gained remarkable insights from the respondents on its presentation. So there you go. That's all you need to do in coming up or getting started with your chapter 3. And I guess I hope rather this will serve as your guide in crafting your own interpretation using the descriptive analysis um, pertaining to all the indicators you need to interpret um, in chapter 3. So I will give you the entire December for the accomplishment of your chapter 3, and I guess when we come back in January, you are ready to submit to me your chapter 3 manuscript. So there you go, and good day everyone.